and we'll go from there.
Perfect. Well, thank you for joining us on your beautiful, precious morning. I know this morning time is really ritual and sacred, so thank you.
Yes.
So just kind of like, getting us into the mood. What were you doing right before this, without being too detailed, unless you want to?
Sleeping.
Good.
You got your on East Coast time, so you caught me bright and early.
Oh, I love you. Thank you.
Yes. I love you
Hopefully
too.
you were having nice dreams and you're feeling rested.
Of course. I feel great.
Yeah. So can you just share with us, for those of how long have we known each other now, Deb?
Probably somewhere around
2008-ish, 9-ish, or right around there.
I was gonna say,
wow.
Yeah, it's been a moment. Yes.
Yeah. So over a decade. I remember when your little one was little, and now she's totally left the nest. That's incredible. So for those, who are new to me and you, go ahead and share a little bit about yourself. What work do you do now? Where? Who do you do it for? If you have a special niche.
Awesome. Well, my name is Dr. Deb Davies. I'm a licensed acupuncturist, doctor of acupuncture, birth doula, childbirth educator. I practice in San Diego, California, and I also have an online course for childbirth education. I teach at a college in New Jersey, teaching Chinese medicine and women's health. So I have lots going on. I'm super busy. My passion, my niche, my specialty, all of that is women's health, specifically pregnancy, birth, and postpartum is really where I lie and love birth. If I had to choose one, birth is it. I'm all about educating and empowering expectant couples to have safe, healthy pregnancies, births, and recoveries by offering natural options in healthcare.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So we will not be able to do this all in one sit down meeting. We will talk a long time, and you're going to be a regular guest, right? Can we just, we can solidify that now?
Yeah,
oh, thank you. Yeah. I know that the way that we have connected in the past, we just end up, the conversation always moves into very pertinent conversations, not only about women's health, but you're a mom, I'm a mom, what that was like, all the expectations, mom guilt, mom shame, all those things that come up. What does it mean to be holistic in this field, as well as then guiding others? And so we're not going to get it all in one, but if I remember you came out with your course, your online course. Can you remind us, is that for like licensed acupuncturists, or is that for the general population, like people who want information?
It's for the general population. So this is for expectant couples, the lay public, just average mom and dad, somebody, having their first baby, somebody that wants to get educated. The difference, I think, with my childbirth class and a lot of others is that adds acupressure for labor and birth as well. And so we go through everything like what to expect and anatomy, and then different options and things that we could do for comfort measures. And then we get into acupressure and, for natural promotion of labor, for nausea, for pain, for this or that. And so it's kind of fun. I've attended over 250 births as a birth doula, and it's just amazing to see the way that we can support women in giving birth, feeling a little more empowered, feeling like she has more options, and it's fun. Like, I find that anytime I have an all-nighter anymore at my age, it's because I'm at a birth.
It's funny how life takes a turn. Your daughter might be having all-nighters, but you are having all-nighters.
She's having way more fun than I am. It's okay.
Oh, but it's so great to hear. I got huge truth bumps when you said that. I guess I didn't realize how many births you'd attended and been a part of and helped facilitate that. And I know for me that's actually, it brings up a lot of fear and anxiety, because I'm here. I am 8 years later after my first child's birth. I still feel like I have a lot of healing to do and mending to do around my own birth story. So like the idea that you're attending other people's seems just like like jaw-dropping and awe-inspiring. I want to get to that place in my life where I'm in a place to do that with others. But it sounds so, I wish I had someone teaching me acupuncture. And that's funny because I was an acupuncturist already when I had my own babies. But you know, like when you're in it, I have to be honest, I did not think, oh, let me go press those points, you know.
Yeah,
So to
no.
know that there is a birth class out there, my birth class did not have that, even though it was still on the holistic side. It would have been so nice to know or count on the other people around me who were present for them to pull from that tool bag without me needing to like come up with it on my own. Cause I was not in a mental capacity to think about anything, let alone asking for what I needed. So, yeah, I have so much to learn from you, and I'm really excited through these conversations to
Oh,
learn
thank
from you.
you. Yeah, I think it's really important that, I'm so incredibly passionate about childbirth education because it's like you just said, like, people need to learn how to give
Yeah.
birth, it turns out better in all of the situations I've ever seen. The more educated the family is, the more knowledge that they have, the more time that they spend taking courses, talking about it, knowing what potentially could happen, what they don't want to happen, what the options might be. And, as a doula, I have conversations with couples like how we could get around certain situations. And it's very scary for a lot of women. There's a lot of fear, and there's a lot of women unfortunately suffer birth trauma. And that's really one of the things I want to help avoid.
Oh
By
my gosh. I
education.
so wish I had had someone like you right next to me, because my husband was deployed, like literally
Oh,
deployed
oh,
overseas for
sorry.
what, I gave birth at 41 months, or 41 weeks, not months. Oh my God. No.
You'd
I'm an
be
elephant
glad to
now.
hear.
I already look like that. He got back at week 39. So I did my whole childbirth class on my own. I was sending him all the PDFs, all the things.
Mhm.
And I think what, why I say I wish I had had someone like you is because, I consider myself a very empowered, independent woman who can do things and go out there. I've been able to figure out a lot of life. So I can figure this out too. And when he steps back, hopefully he gets back in time, and he almost got delayed because of tsunami in the Philippines. And oh my God, talk about emotions. I thought I was going to have my baby right then and there because of that emotional shock.
Oh.
But to know that I could have someone, and then it was so unrealistic for me to think that that other person, even though I feel like we read each other's minds when we want to, not all the time, especially not day to day, could just like step in and hold that space that I craved and needed, which you don't know what you need until you're in it. And so to have someone like you who has so much education and experience and who's done this before, so you've seen so many different permutations. I bet every birth you see is uniquely its own, right?
Yes, very different. It seems like they're never the same, and always different situations, different amounts of time. I think the more prepared people are, the better it tends to go. And the less fear in the room, the better it tends to go, the more
Right.
supportive the partner is.
Yeah.
A lot of times the partners don't know what to do at all.
I
And
know
they're
they
looking at me
don't.
like the doula, and they're like,
Yeah,
so
like above the birthing person's head,
yeah.
like,
So
tell
I
me
would
what.
like model what to do. Like, let's do some points here, here. And so like I'll do it on one side and they'll do it on the other side. And it's really helpful. I think sometimes having a doula, it's more for the dads, for the partner, than it is for the mom, because if the dad's stressed out or the partner's stressed out, the mom can't relax. And
Yeah.
that's the one thing she needs to be able to do to let this body flow through her. You can't be in fight or flight and rest and digest at the same time. So you
Right.
really have to surrender to the process, and the safer you feel, the better off it is. So yeah, I can't say enough about childbirth education. And most people do give birth in the hospital, and I'm all about like your birth, your body, your baby, your way. I don't care if it's hospital, home birth, birth center, vaginal C-section. Like I want people to feel supported and empowered so that they have a good birth story. Like you said, you have healing to do around your birth. And for a lot of women in the 20 years that I've been working with this population, unfortunately, that is more the norm than anything, is that people come out of birth feeling very traumatized and very sad and lonely and frustrated. And everyone's like, oh, you have a healthy baby. And they feel dead inside. And it's really hard, and so it's like that beginning of that postpartum depression is the birth. And if they have, pardon my expression, a shit show of a birth, that's kind of what life becomes. And it really takes a long time. And our culture isn't really set up to support these women. And I see other cultures, like in the Asian cultures or, South America, they are way more caring of their mamas. And they have certain things like the Zoyueza with a 30 or 40 day sitting in period, where the mom or the mother-in-law or the aunt, the sister comes and helps take care of them. The mom's not allowed to leave the room. She stays warm, she stays fed. All she does is rest, feed her baby, eat, sleep, poop, shower, repeat. That's it. And so I wish that there was a way for women in the United States, and everywhere, to have this kind of supportive system. And I've heard stories of women going back a day or two after giving birth to jobs from bartending to whatever. So it's crazy. And I've heard of women, catering parties for their in-laws 2 or 3 days after giving birth too. So it's like there's something wrong with that. Like, that's not okay. Like if a woman gives birth, that mother-in-law who flew in to see, like, she should be cooking dinner and cleaning up. And like, so yeah, I feel like there's a lot of education really needed in our culture to support pregnancy, birth, and postpartum.
Oh my gosh. I have to say, right now I'm trying not to start bawling my eyes out, because there was something you said where I realized for the first time, I feel like I'm being seen, that I needed to be seen after I had birth, because you said that emptiness and everyone is expecting you to feel all this joy and love. And yes, that comes with the oxytocin, but the pain and the emptiness and the exhaustion and the shame and the guilt and all the myriad of emotions I didn't even know was possible as a human, all at the same time. Mm-hmm. And then also then expected to just like, and this is partly me, I've always had this facade of like, oh, I can do it, right? So even after that, everyone around me thought I was just going to jump back into that. Oh, I've got this, don't worry. Like, I can cook and clean and did it. And part of me also, because that was my inertia, was like, oh, I got this, I can do it all, until you're not, and you're not in a good place, and mentally and physically and emotionally. And when you say 40 days, I knew this, again, it's so funny what we know, what we learn. And we really didn't. I really like to talk to you about this. We didn't really learn this in Chinese medicine school, at least in the school we attended, in the United States, in Southern California. So I'm going to bookmark there and come back to that. But when you say, I knew about a 30-day period, a 40-day period. My friend who is Persian, she's been in the United States for all these years, but for many, many decades. But she even told me, she's like, I know this sounds crazy, but you're not allowed to do anything for 30 days. And I laughed. I was like, how about 10? She goes, okay, how about 15? And I go, what about 10? And she's like, okay, try to do it. And I got to day 3 and she texted me and called me and was like, what are you doing? And I was like, oh, I'm cooking, I'm cleaning. She's like, no, like, and it just was, I knew this. And what I really craved was someone to tell me, sit the F down, lie down. Here's your baby. I've got it. Like, that's what I craved at a deep cellular level.
And that's what we need. That's what.
And I didn't have it. Yeah. And we do need it. And it's so hard for I would say, like, the independent American minded woman to give up that control sometimes.
Mm-hmm. It's true. And a lot of women, they're powerhouses, and it's like they've worked really hard. They went to school, they got a great job, they finally found the right man. They're having a baby. And it's really the first time in a lot of women's life where you're no longer in control.
Like, oh my God, my God. And not just in control, it's stripped from you.
Yeah, like you have a new boss, that little baby inside, is ruling your world. So that's hard for a lot of people to surrender and to ask for help. So I talk a lot in my, when I'm working with pregnant women in my childbirth education courses, about not only preparing for the birth, but preparing for after the birth. like a postpartum plan, not just a birth plan, because a lot of times pregnant people just want to focus on the birth, but then after you give birth, now you have a little baby that you have to take care of.
Yeah.
So really great to think about, how are you going to do that? And, one of the things I always suggest is that you set parameters, like when you want visitors, and you realize for a mom, like she's going to be like naked from the top up most of the day after you have a baby, breastfeeding nonstop around the clock. And so if somebody comes over, you have to be able to say, you may or may not get to see the baby. Don't invite someone if you don't want them to see your breasts, because you're going to be in bed or breastfeeding the whole time. So I think setting up, so if people want to come see you, that it's like, it might be a 5 or 10 minute visit. Thank you for bringing me some food. And then people always want to help. Like, this is a time to call upon your village. What can I do for you? So I suggest put a honey-do list on the refrigerator. And it's very humbling that your neighbor does your laundry or washes your dishes, but this is the time, like, really, if this mom can just focus on bonding with her baby, the both parents focusing on bonding with the baby, the partner that didn't give birth taken care of, or the mom might have her mother, sister, aunt, somebody else to help. And in my situations of seeing people, the people that have more support, the people that do the planning, it's always so much better. So much better for their postpartum.
What do you mean by better? Are you, I know you said postpartum, I kind of cut you off there, but what do you mean by better? Like, what does that look like?
So for an example, one week I saw 3 women clinically that were all 3 weeks postpartum. And the first woman had postpartum depression. She cried and cried and cried and was just miserable. The second woman had a horrific birth story, had a traumatic birth, had a lot of pain, also really depressed and miserable. The third woman was an Asian woman, and she was happy and skinny. And I was like, what are you doing? Like, it was just so clearly different than the other 2 women. And she had her mother had come in from China, and she was cooking for her. And there is a book called The First 40 Days.
Yeah.
I love that book. So that's how I learned of that book. The mom, the pregnant lady's mom came in and was cooking all these foods to bring in breast milk, to recover from childbirth, all those things. And she had a postpartum doula cousin come from Japan, and she was belly binding her every day, wrapping her belly, and doing various herbal things with her to help her recover postpartum. So I was just incredibly impressed. So this woman I saw very few times, and she was fine. She just recovered quickly from her issue. And it was just very profound to see the difference, the level of support, the level of planning, the level of education. And here I live in Southern California, in San Diego, so there's a large Hispanic population, and in Mexico they also do a better job than we do postpartum. And I have some Hispanic friends, and even if they're really low income, they will do everything in their power to make sure that they are home for 40 days. They will not leave the house, and they will plan for years, and they will ask for their friends and family, and for baby showers and everything. Like, this is what I need. I need money. I need to be able to stay home with my child. And so when people are doing that, I think it's great to support them in the way that they need to be supported.
I love this idea of putting a list, like your honey-do list, out in the public on the refrigerator. And you make that probably before you even go into labor. And so when people come over and they're like, what do you need done? Don't put that on the newly recovering mother to figure out what needs to be done, but to just, that mother can say it's on the refrigerator. Like, choose something, anything, because I remember having a mental break with my own family where I was screaming, like my dragon side came out. And I'm like, I can't even stop it because everyone was expecting me to do all the things. And I'm like, that's my break. I was like, I just need to nurse my son right now. figure it out. You're all adults. And I just lost it then, though. It was like anger mixed with all the things. So if you just had a list, like that's a really applicable thing. And even as a friend, right? Maybe my auntie, I don't have a good relationship with any of my family, but I have one friend, my go-to friend.
Mhm.
And they come over and you've told them, hey, just choose anything on the list will be great. Like, I think as a new mom, I could come up with that. Go look at the list, like in my zombie
or
state.
cook, cleaning and laundry. Like that's it,
Yeah.
feed me,
Yeah.
bring me food. So a lot of people will do a meal train at their baby shower and they sign up. I think a lot of people have seen that, at least in the US. And that's really nice because I recommend people do that, because then the mom actually gets like, okay, dad's not going to take, he's only going to be off a week. And so if you could come Monday through Friday between, 12 to 2 and maybe stay with me for an hour just to like give company or help maybe hold the baby so they can take a shower or something
right.
like it's a difference in your relationship with your community, with your partner, with your family, with your friends. Like when you have a baby, it's not like you're the same person. You don't have the time, energy, anything to do the same. So that's a big realization that women have to like slow down, step back, ask for help.
Right.
For help.
But not even so. I want to get to the root of that. Is when I'm in that state, I can't even ask for help because I don't even know what I need. So I almost see like this, the education that you provide, I would love to see at, baby showers, that you watch the video. So everyone there, those are your tribe. The people at your baby shower is your tribe.
That's a great idea.
Right? Like everyone gets access to this video that we've bought for everyone. So this is how you can help me, because I don't even know what I need when I am blood deficient, Chinese medicine speak, when I'm tired and I'm exhausted and I'm emotional and hormonal. So it's almost like if my tribe could take that education course with me.
That's great. I love
then
that.
Then it's not on the new birthing person's responsibility to know what I need, because I don't. And that was the hardest part for me, is everyone was asking, what do you need? And I'm like,
right. I need sleep. I need
I don't know. Can you
with.
fix my hormones for me? Like, I don't know. That's what I need. But I would love that, because then it's almost like your tribe just steps in and is there, like really showing up to be there. Rather than adding more stress on the new birth person. Is that the right term? Am I the new
mom? I don't know.
The new mom. Yeah. I love that idea, is that you could share that, your educational series, or even like shorter videos, which I'm sure you have. And if not, now you have an idea. Not that you need more work.
No, I definitely, but I do have a YouTube channel. It's Push San Diego.
Oh,
if people do want to check it out. There's videos on pregnancy and birth, postpartum, fertility, all sorts of women's health issues. And this sounds like a really good one. I'm going to make a video like this now. This sounds great. Like a 15-minute video that could be shown at a baby shower for the friends and family. Like, light bulb. Yeah. This is a brilliant idea. Like, this is how you could help me. I tell you,
I've shared this with you. I have a lot of ideas. They're not always for me. Yeah. And I'm happy for other people to take those on, because and even if they're not at the baby shower and someone goes, I really want to help you after birth, what can I do? It's just an email. Click this YouTube link and you'll come up with 20 ideas the way you can help, like it would be so great.
I love it. That's a wonderful idea, and I'm super excited to make some more videos now.
Okay, good. Again, I'm sorry. I know you are so busy and you don't need to add another thing to do on your list. So I'm just real curious, because I know today it's my time is wrapping up, but I know we have so many more opportunities to converse and have conversations about women's health, and not only just, we're talking kind of postnatally right now and today, but in the future during pregnancy as well. How did you get into this specialty? Like, obviously, clearly you're passionate, you're educated. So how, like, because when we were in Chinese medicine school, this was not a specialty. This was not an elective. This was not a course. I mean, we talked about women's health, but like, how did you get into this niche?
I got into this niche through my own experience, honestly. 20, almost 21 years ago, I had my first baby and she died when I was in labor. So I was full term and it was the worst thing that ever happened to me. So I gave birth to a dead baby and I had a stillborn at term, and this baby was wanted, loved. I did everything right. It literally shook me to my core. And I decided to start acupuncture school after that because I needed help recovering from this loss. And acupuncture really helped me recover from this loss. I was so devastated physically, mentally, emotionally. And I was getting a lot of treatments from Chinese medicine. And then I decided to start school. So when I went to school, it was like my drive, my will was this child I lost. I really want to help other women. Like, I don't feel like, especially in OBGYN, there's a lot of approaches. Like, here, take the pill, take, whatever. And my personal challenge has always been surrounding gynecology, and I didn't have yes, I am grateful I had that experience with my child, and now my children go, and she's so my children are my inspiration.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much. That is so powerful beyond, I knew that. I mean, you've shared that with me before, but I never put those dots together, right? Like that story propelled to this specialty, and what a gift to all of us. I'm so sorry that happened to you. And thank you for sharing it. I think others who will hear this might, have a moment of connection that can be healing and hopeful, at least maybe guiding them as well into other options, which you and I talk about all the time. So thank you so much for sharing that. With our time coming to a close, if people want to connect with you, how do they find you? How would you like people to connect with you if they're interested in working with you, if they're in San Diego, or they want to, look at your course?
Yeah, I am. Pushsandiego.com is my website, and I do have free 15-minute consultations there. If people want to talk to me for various reasons, I'm happy to talk with them and figure out how I can best support them or find the people for them. I have supported a lot of women who've had losses. Unfortunately, I do get those calls all the time. So I really want women who lose babies to not feel alone and have support. Anyways, I'm also on social media. You can find me on Deb Davies, or Push San Diego is where you would find me on all the social medias.
And San Diego is spelled out.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay.
Push, like pushing a baby out, Push San Diego.
Oh, that is that's such great branding. Push. Awesome.
Yes. Well, thank you.
Thank you so much. We'll have you on again. We'll hear lots from you, and I can't wait for these stories to continue.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.